Oh, pause it. I heard about this. Apparently, she droned on and stole her thunder. Totally. And it
Didn't
was like
drain
stupid.
on. It wasn't really like, just watch this. Watch this. Dude, the fucking lip.
Was that her ducking the microphone?
No, I'm certain that
Oh.
was her like reacting to her knee.
Oh no, are you sure? Go back. I that
No.
to me looked like she was weaving around the
No, hold
microphone.
on.
That, that looked like a turn.
It sounded like she said, "Oh fuck."
That looked like a bob.
I don't know. It
That
looked more like
she went back in this way though. Look at that. Looks like a bob around the microphone.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like, oh
leg
look,
gave
my
out.
knee's fucked up. Like I think it was her just exaggerating it for like, I don't know.
Oh.
Like
Okay, I immediately took that as I'm dodging the microphone.
I took that as more so like, oh my knee. Oh, thanks to Roxanne for all this. But oh my knee, I'm sorry about that. That's why I lost this fight, but I'm not actually gonna say it. Blah blah blah. No, I just found that fucking hilarious as soon as I saw that. But when's the last time you've actually seen somebody who lost do something like that?
Like a post fight.
Like seek the microphone and then pretty much take it. Joe Rogan's nice enough to actually give it to her, but like they normally go
she
straight
stuck
to the
around.
winner.
Yeah, she stuck around.
This
and
ain't no main event.
kind of waited. Yeah, that was very weird.
Like she took the onus on herself to be like, I want to talk to the crowd even though I
maybe
lost.
because she knows she was such a heavy favorite and it was such a bad look for her.
People are calling her like entitled. People are like shitting on her for that.
Yeah,
people are
I've
saying
heard.
that she should not have done that.
I've heard a lot of crap about it. I think Lori, like I just saw Lauren Murphy's tweet about like shut up and let someone out. I'm like, what is this in reference
Yeah.
to? Oh, okay.
That wasn't
Too bad though. It wasn't as long and droning on.
I just thought the whole like ducking thing. I thought that was her just trying to play to her knee, but without saying it. Like, you know what I mean? Like trying to.
it was my knee.
Yeah, it was just not a good look for her. I'm sure everybody was fucking surprised that she actually ended up pulling it off. But people just keep buying into the hype. Like the same thing. It's the same thing like Conor and Floyd when they fought. Like people just bought into the hype of Conor, which is why the odds were only like minus 300 Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Macy Barber. She went out there. Okay, she finished Jillian Robertson last time
Yeah, I
around.
didn't get these odds though. I'm like, once again, so disappointed I didn't put money on it. Like, what the fuck? I even thought, okay, there's a good chance Roxanne could grind her out. And it happened.
At
The
least
odds
we
were
went
just
with the over.
ridiculous.
I don't know. You went with the over as well, right? So we're good.
Yeah,
Like
the over, yeah.
as long as we ended up cashing on that fight, it doesn't really matter. But like you want to be that sharp guy that was like, I picked that fucking underdog there.
Those odds were insane.
The card was decent. Like the Holly Holm one really seemed to like halt the momentum of the card just because.
No, the fights before that were actually pretty good, finishes and all that.
Yeah.
And then why? Like, you know what you're gonna get with a Holm and Pennington fight. Why is
Yeah.
that the co-main?
Did you see Dana's outrage to it afterwards?
No.
Like he was just pissed. He goes, the referee let them clinch each other for 4 minutes every round. He didn't do anything to break them up. I'm like, I don't know if this is coming from somebody that had money on Holly Holm, but like to me, it seemed like Holly Holm was remaining active enough to maintain that clinch.
Yeah, I didn't mind the non-breakups. That's
Yeah.
like what you just said. I thought she was doing enough, even though there was not much happening. It was a boring ass fight.
And even Pennington, she wasn't really trying to stifle anything because she was throwing back in return
she
too, right?
initiated a couple of times too. The clinch, like that's on her. You're
She gave
clearly
away
getting
that
out
third
muscled.
round. She
You're
definitely
getting-
gave away
You're
that
getting
third
out
round.
muscled. What are you doing? You shouldn't be fighting like this.
I was
It
very-
was not a good look for either fighter. I didn't think Holm looked that great. No one cares about her getting a title shot, and at least she got a win. Good for her. And then Pennington, her stock fell. It just wasn't a good look.
It felt even more because her fight IQ is horrible. Like in that third round, you potentially know that you're down, and you need to either get a finish or at least push the pace, try to get a 10-8. The last 2 minutes or so, there were so many times where she like initiated the striking, but then engaged in the clinch right away. It seemed like she willingly engaged in it, and she knew she was out muscled every time. Yet she kept fucking going there.
I heard someone, I can't remember. It was on a post-fight show. I just heard it was either like Luke Thomas or someone else. They said that it looked like Raquel Pennington went in there thinking that she was going to fight the same Holly Holm she fought in the first fight.
Huh.
It was almost like that. Like she had prepared to beat that version. Like, oh, I know what I could do differently from the first fight to beat her. and only kind of prepared for that, but didn't seem to prepare for like a different Holly.
True.
But that's also just on the coaches and the preparation and
Yeah.
like you said, fight IQ, adjustments, all that. You got to.
I guess the difference between the two fights was the fact that I think that Holly was striking way more actually in that first fight.
Yeah,
compared to
this time
one.
it was a clinch. Last
Yeah.
time it was her on her pedal. She was on her bike,
Yeah.
circling around a lot and outpointing Pennington.
It was
Whereas
Pennington
here-
initiating the clinch in that first fight too, and then Holly was always able to duck or dig the underhook, turn her, and then break away. Whereas
but
this one, she just
wasn't
stayed on
breaking
her.
away. Holly said it after. She said, "I wish I could have done more, but I felt success with the clinch. So because it was working, I just kept going to it."
Can you
Which is
really-
kind of fair enough? Like,
Yeah.
that's after hearing that, I'm like, fine.
I don't mind. I'm cool
Maybe
with
it's
that.
more in Pennington. Like, why did you adjust? Like, Holly needs a win, and she
Yeah.
can easily secure it this way. And if you're not going to show
Just
any
out
sort of-
muscle you. That's it. Plain and
if you're not
simple, she can
gonna- yeah,
out-muscle
if you're
you.
not going to oppose it in any sort of way,
It seemed like that was her game
plan.
plan in the first fight, was try to slow Holly down like that in the first fight, and then in this one she tried to stick with the same thing, and then even in that she was getting out muscled and just
Yeah.
like you got to learn on the fly. Like Holly Holm, perfect example when she fought Megan Anderson. She wanted to strike with her, she got hit, clipped a couple times, and she goes,
Tried
"Okay,
for a takedown,
switch it up and let's just take this bitch down the entire
She's
time."
definitely Holly Holm definitely is the type of fighter who kind of GSP-ish. We'll take the easiest path to victory. Oh, this is working. We'll just keep doing this until my opponent can adjust. Otherwise, why would I change anything up? Makes sense to get a win.
I wanted to see how much this actually had an argument in terms of an argument against Holly Holm's regression that everybody was talking about going into this fight, right? I
didn't see anything new.
me neither. And that's the thing. Like, I don't feel like we needed to see anything different from Holly Holm to beat Raquel Pennington to begin with, right?
It's just crazy to me that the way, like, you look at how Raquel Pennington looked, and she looked like such a mediocre mid-tier type fighter, and that was the number 5 ranked in the division. Man.
She, like, the perfect thing that happened for her was to beat Misha Tate when she beat Misha Tate. Because that was, I believe, right after pretty much Misha Tate
Tate
lost
was
the
done
title.
at that point. Yeah,
Right.
she got lucky with that win that propelled her. Yeah,
Yeah, but like 10-9 now, right?
yeah.
Yeah, 10-8 actually, unless they haven't updated it here. Yeah, 10-8.
1-4 with a split decision win in your last 4 fights.
1-3 in your last 4 fights.
That was even that streak. It's not the great. Andrade is a good win, but that's also over a straw weight.
Yep.
Betchquare just by split.
Yep.
Elizabeth Phillips, is she even in the UFC
No,
still?
definitely
Unanimous
not.
decision, and then she unanimous decision over Tate. Yeah, you're right. Her whole ranking is based off that one win off of Misha Tate on her.
That's
way up.
it. Then she
Otherwise,
gets the
like,
title
she's-
fight, and then she gets wrecked by Jermaine Durant. Not really wrecked, but definitely outpointed.
Handled, yeah.
And she missed weight in that fight
Yeah.
by 3 pounds.
Yeah, it's just not a good look for
Mm-hmm.
Pennington. She's mid tier. Even that division, though, it's just like now you got Holly Holm still floating around at 3. Nobody cares to see her get a title shot.
She's good enough.
GDR's been beat. Who else is left for Nunes? Just Ladd? Is she the only one in the top?
I'm pretty sure. And again, Ladd's actually fighting Juliana Pena coming up.
Oh yeah, that's the other one.
She probably shouldn't have even taken that fight.
2 versus 4 there. Ladd versus Pena. That's got to be the next number 1 contender. And then after that, it's like I don't even know what you do.
Goddamn cookies. Give me all the cookies. Let's see what the actual ranking looks like. GDR number 1, Aspen Ladd number 2, number 3, Holly Holm, number 4, Juliana Pena, 5 is Pennington. Aldana is definitely up there now after she beat Ketlin. So I wouldn't even mind seeing a do you want to do Aldana Pennington again if
I think
Pennington's going to
Aldana
stick
will
around?
probably just get.
Why not?
Maybe
Aldana
Holm.
Holm.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go. Actually, that's actually not a bad
I'm
fight.
totally cool with that fight.
Yeah.
Let's get that on the road. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, what do you do with GDR? Even she's already fought 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Maybe Pena. I don't. This whole division is
It's such a mess.
So weak. It's so weak.
Yeah.
Man.
Sarah McMahon's fighting Lena Landsberg next weekend.
Marion Renault is in the top
Number-
10. Yana Kuniskaya is a top 10. I mean,
It's a sad division, to be honest.
it really
And
is.
then featherweight, obviously, they don't even have any rankings for that. Oh, do they? No, they just have Nunes
just
as the
champion. That's it. They don't even have a division. They got 3 fighters. I
No.
think.
Yeah, we talked about this on one of the past episodes. Good one for Holly Holm, at least to like remain, hovering in that top 5 range. And again, the drop off between like Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes, Jermaine Durandamy is kind of like the drop off between like Shevchenko and the rest of the flyweight division. You know what I mean? There's really nobody else there. Like Irene Aldana, Juliana Pena, you know, she pretty much got murked by Shevchenko. It's going to be, I am interested in the Ladd and Pena fight just because stylistically, it's an intriguing fight. Both are really good grapplers. Who's going to be able to impose the grappling better? I think Aspen Ladd has the better forward pressure and pace, so that might cause issues for Pena. But she looked good against Nico Montano when she made her comeback.
That was shaking off ring rust too.
Exactly. After like 3 years, after having a kid, right? She had a kid in that time.
I'm surprised Pena's at
4
bantamweight though.
Or what? You think she'd be at 125?
She was. I'm pretty sure she was one of those girls that 125 was always her natural weight class, but they didn't have it, so she was at bantamweight. Then
she did Ultimate Fighter at bantamweight.
Yeah, but
she wanted there.
I think she was always a flyweight.
Let's see if we can.
So that would maybe because of her high ranking, it's just like why bother?
Yeah.
But I think eventually she'll go down to flyweight, or maybe it's also because she came off the pregnancy and she was a little heavier. I don't know.
But this is going to be her second fight since the.
Yeah, true, but maybe
right?
I'm thinking it's also just because of her ranking. Like if I'm ranked number 4, why bother?
Mm-hmm.
But
it just says bantamweight.
Has she ever fought at flyweight?
Flyweight bout.
Yeah, there you go.
In her, what was that, 6th fight?
And then
she went back. So she had one fight.
She moved up for tough though.
No, but it would say below here as well too if it was a flyweight belt or a bout.
I think that she's if she loses her ranking or goes on a losing streak, she's probably going to drop down.
Yeah, she might as well. Like, she has that loss to Shevchenko, so that might just be held over her head for a little bit. Fuck. That just the women's 135 and 145 pound divisions are such a mess, and then 125 is literally just Shevchenko. There's nobody else that's going to be wanting to fight her after Chukagian, at least. Like, she's whopped everybody off. You know what? Let's just take a quick look at that. Like, who does she realistically have after Chukagian?
Nobody.
Jessica Joanne Calderwood, I think, just lost.
She's the only, like, marketable one there. But
I think she just came off a loss, too. Or she may have beaten Andrea Lee last time.
That's what it was. She beat Lee.
Why is this keyboard so fucked? I just want to confirm. Because I believe that was her last one, which is a really big one for her if it is. Whoop, that's kickboxing.
Yeah.
Okay, but she did lose to Chukagian before that. Like, they're just offing each other. Jennifer Maia lost. Viviane Araújo just lost to Jessica Ai.
Calderwood would actually get the next title shot if she just got even a win, or even if she does nothing, she might still get the next title shot. She's coming off a win.
They should do her against Jessica Ai.
Sure.
Why not? Because even Ai's coming off an impressive victory over Viviane Araújo, who is kind of going to be the next big thing.
Number 5, yeah.
Roxanne Modaffari is putting together a couple wins now too, so that's fucking weird. Macy Barber just got fucking, her momentum just got stopped. She was one of the ones everybody was looking out for. Yeah, there's nobody else, man.
These divisions are weak.
115 is fun though.
115 is the best women's division.
Oh, hands down.
Easy.
Are you kidding me?
It's not even close.
We're getting Joanna and Zhang coming up in a couple months.
Like, look, all the way up to like the top 6, 7. These are all high level.
Yeah.
Andrade, Rose,
Rodriguez
Tatiana, Joanna,
Marina
Ansarov is good. Claudia, high level wrestling. Like, these are all good fighters.
Rodriguez is coming up too, though.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. She just had a draw with Calvillo, who's up there too. Oh yeah. Grasso has declared she's going up to flyweight.
Yeah.
So good for her. Thank God. That was a shit show.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And it sucks too because Claudia wanted the fight anyway, but the commission was like, I think they have a rule where
it's
you can't
3
be more than
pounds.
3 pound difference.
You can't be more than 3 pounds across.
So even if she could have just fucking cut another 2.5 and still miss weight by 3 pounds.
It seems like she didn't try at that point.
Or if they told Claudia ahead of time, she could have just not cut as much weight, and then it would have been under the 3 pounds.
Yeah,
you could just change it to a catch weight.
Let's
go. Yeah, I guess
let's just talk about the main fucking event.
So I guess you want to quickly skim through the heavyweight fight. Olynyk versus.
Don't really give a fuck about that fight. Like,
it was exactly what you thought. It was. They're both not good. Very, very good high level athletes.
The fact that the under didn't hit, you know what kind of fight it was.
Yeah.
Like, it was thrilling for the seconds where they were actually like scrambling and on the feet. But like, I think Olynyk had that scarf hold for like 2 minutes, couldn't get it. That was a weird sequence.
It was Olynyk knowing that he can't strike and trying to submit Green, who just wanted to keep it on the feet and who couldn't keep it on the feet, and it was sloppy. It wasn't high
Very
level
sloppy.
MMA. And Olenek pulls it off again, underdog. I actually thought he would get the submission win, and he fucking does it again.
It's nuts to me. It's nuts to me that he eventually he keeps pulling it off. And
Yep.
On
You know who
these
called
types
him
of
out?
guys too, huh?
You know who called him out for his comeback fight? Werdum, 42-year-old Werdum is.
I swear,
Alexei
Verdum
Olenek.
called him out.
Olenek.
I thought Verdum suspended or some shit, or he wanted to get released.
They reduced it from 2 years to 1 year and like 2 months or something like that. Like that. So it's ending. Sorry, it's ending 10 months early. So it's down to 15 months instead of.
So
24
UFC
months.
didn't
Sorry,
release him.
14 months. Yeah. No.
Okay, so
he's not
still on-
released. His suspension got reduced. I think he's eligible very soon. Like in a month or two. He's like 42 years old, wanting to come back. So he's calling out Olenek.
I
Sure.
wouldn't mind that. Just to get a
We're
just to
doing
get
as
a
old
fight
as
in.
fuck. He's not going to be a top tier heavyweight again.
Yeah.
It's a fun fight.
Yeah.
He's intrigued because of his grappling, so maybe he'll just want to grapple with him.
It's like a Damian Maia Ben Askren fight. Like they're both
Yeah.
good grapplers. Just let them fucking
But
grapple it
the
out.
thing is, if Werdum wants to be an ass about it, he can
can
just keep
strike.
standing and beat
Oh,
the fuck
for
out
sure.
of him. So, but if he just wants to have a fun fight, grapple a bit.
Watch him just like how he always starts off his fight by running and like kicking the guy, like the flying kick.
do
If he
something
just
weird like
knocks him,
That
oh,
would be,
knocks out
that would be
Olenek right there.
ridiculous for like 40-year-olds too. They're that dude combined age in that fight's like
80
over
something.
85.
Yeah,
That's for craziness.
fuck these guys.
Yeah. And then Kelleher.
Fuck.
I'm
I'm not a big fan of Kelleher. You know what I mean? O'Day Osborne looked decent in the first
Yeah.
like minute and a half, and then Kelleher snatched up that guillothine.
Yeah, so whatever. Who cares about that?
Diego Ferreira.
This fight I wanted to get into a bit. Yeah,
I fucking Anthony Pettis just can't. He can't keep the pace of whatever his opponent is throwing at him. And the funny part is like. The Tony Ferguson fight. He tried keeping Tony Ferguson's pace. He gassed out by like the end of the first round. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, slow paced fight, but the fact that Wonderboy was keeping him on his back foot, was trying to be methodical about it, kept Pettis thinking and kept him on his back foot. He was starting to get like suck wind there too, and then he pulls off the fucking.
Stephen Thompson was easily winning.
He was easily winning that
beating
fight.
him up.
And Pettis starts to suck wind, and then he pulls off that Hail Mary fucking finish at the end of the second round. That was going to be a 50-45 Wonderboy Thompson waiting to happen.
It was easy in the bag.
His
yeah.
chin just fucking showed out of nowhere.
He got that one good punch.
Nate Diaz fight, same thing. He tries matching Nate Diaz's pace. Nate Diaz out cardios him. It ends up going to a decision, and he does have a little bit of
got
success
whooped.
near the end.
He got beat up though.
He got the reversal in the third round and finished on top, but still, like it wasn't. We saw him gas, and then you're going to put him against Carlos Diego Ferreira, who's been pushing the pace against all of his prior opponents. His last 5 wins have been fucking spectacular. He's had the 2 moments of hesitancy when he was hurt by Carl Nelson, who had nothing to lose going into that fight. So he's just throwing caution to the wind, just fucking going balls to the wall, hurts Diego Ferreira, and then Ferreira comes back and finishes him. Taisimov clipped him, kind of rocked him, but wasn't like anything crazy where he dropped him or anything
Soundly
like that.
beat him.
And then soundly beat him after that. And now this was the perfect matchup for him. Like it was surprising to me that the odds were still coming down a little bit from like the minus 250 all the way down to the minus 220-ish, minus 215 range that he finished at. That's why I call it the fucking lock of the night. Like that was it for me. There's always the chance of a flash KO. There's always the chance that
grab a random submission. The Pettis does that. He pulls random shit out of his hat. So.
But like if you take that small percentage that you're gonna give him and look at the fight as an overall game, Ferreira wins that fight 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it was a solid win. I thought he was going to win too. The big thing though is like Pettis just doesn't evolve. It's the same fighter over and over. I don't understand. It's like his whole thing is like, well, these guys are going to pressure me, so I'll get on my back foot and then just look to plant here and there and throw quick counters and then keep circling. But by the 4-minute mark of the first round, his circling had already slowed down. He's getting held against the cage. I'm like, if you know your cardio can't do this, like you cannot sustain this game plan, why the fuck are you not evolving? What is happening? It's just the same fighter and over and over and over. The blueprint is out to beat him. Like you said, I thought it was a pretty easy call to make that Ferreira should probably win this, definitely.
Considering how they've looked, it was a no-brainer. He's number 11 right now, which is obviously going to change. I'm talking about Anthony Pettis. Maybe we see Ferreira come in and take that spot, number 11, over Makhachev, who just isn't consistent enough.
Yeah, like fight, dude.
If you fight, then maybe you would be a higher rank. Alexander Hernandez, who's coming off that win over Francisco Trinaldo, Do you remember that fucking fight where they just stared at each other for 15 minutes?
No, but Trinaldo easily won it too. Like some people even had, I think, 3
rounds. It
rounds.
was a close fight just due to the fact that they pretty much didn't do anything. It was a very close fight, but Trinaldo should have won.
It was clear that Trinaldo should have won that.
But I'm not going to give Trinaldo, or I'm not going to give Hernandez too much shit just because neither of them really went for it. Like I'm not saying go out there and get a finish, but go out there and try to win. It doesn't look like either of them win.
Dariush, his stock's gone down
now. Charles Oliveira, who's fighting Kevin Lee, who's number 8. Yeah, I could see Ferreira being cemented, maybe even take Gillespie's spot at number 12.
Oh, yeah.
But Pettis needs to get out of that top 15. He does not deserve to be there.
No, I say Carlos Diego Ferreira should probably jump to like above Barboza.
11. Maybe, sure.
He should be taking Barboza's spot. There's no reason Barboza should be ranked above him. Look at the streaks.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at their last few fights.
6 straight wins. Most consecutive wins, I believe, in.
Hell, he should probably be ranked
UFC
above Iaquinta too, who's 9. So maybe he should actually jump up to 9. And everyone else there should move down a bit. I wouldn't be too opposed to that.
What would you like to see for Ferreira next? I wouldn't mind a fight against Iaquinta. Oh, no. Probably not. Maybe the winner of Charles and Kevin Lee.
I was about to say Oliveira versus Lee.
I wouldn't mind that.
That would be good. Ferreira probably deserves like a top 5, but just because of how crowded lightweight is, and then like the Conor McGregor thing happening there with like
why not even fights. I wouldn't mind seeing Ferreira versus Makhachev.
Hell,
I wouldn't mind. Rankings wise, it wouldn't really make sense, but in terms of just getting a credentialed guy under your belt.
After 6 wins though and a win over Pettis, you got to start to move up though. Like you shouldn't.
Does Barboza's going to 45?
Yeah.
So he should be out of those rankings.
Yeah, I would like for to fight up, but he'd probably have to settle for like a Lee or
the Lee Oliveira winner. I wouldn't mind that. And then Pettis on the other side, if he decides to stick around at 55, I wouldn't mind seeing him go up against Alexander Hernandez. Why not?
Sure.
Why not?
Sure, dude.
Like, yeah, I know they like to match up winners and winners, but I think Hernandez wouldn't mind fighting Pettis.
Plus, everybody's calling out Pettis. Off a loss.
Everybody's calling out Pettis, which is hilarious, right? Even before.
Because it's easy.
Easiest, most high-level name that you can get.
To get an easy win over.
Right? I like that spot for him.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that fight, actually. Hernandez-Pettis.
Why not? It's totally worth it. And then we were talking about Felder and Hooker, how probably the winner should get Gaethje or Poirier.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I think they should probably get Poirier, and then Gaethje should get the Conor fight. Although I don't think that's what's going to happen. We'll get into that in the main event.
But yeah, Poirier, Pettis. Anything else you really want to say? Like, it's pretty straightforward. Like, we know what the fuck is good with Poirier. Or sorry, with Pettis.
Yeah, it's just sad. The guy
such a fall from grace. Like, let's see. I just want to see his like run from that time of when he was champ, when he lost to RDA. So since the RDA loss, he's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. He's 4-7. Technically, could have been 3-8 if he lost that one to fight, but we can't really do what ifs. His wins were Charles Oliveira, a submission over Charles Oliveira, so that's impressive.
In a fight where they both look bad, though.
I don't remember that fight that well, actually. Jim Miller past his prime in 2017. Michael Chiesa, that was a weird fight.
That was weird.
I don't really recall too much of it.
More like Chiesa fighting like an idiot because he knew he had a terrible weight cut and just had to go for broke.
Yeah, he missed.
It was strange.
That's true. And then, like it's just not looking good for Pettis now.
Not at all.
And this is over 3 weight divisions too.
RDA just
lightweight, featherweight, welterweight.
RDA just took his soul with that first left hook that he landed in the first round. Like
it's over from that.
It's done.
Poor
his
guy.
Career was done after that.
He only had 2 losses going into that fucking RDA fight, and now he has 10.
Yep.
Fuck Pettis.
That is ridiculous.
But let's actually go back to Diego Ferreira. This is a guy that I thought was actually just going to be like middle tier UFC for a while. Like, he beat Colton Smith in his first UFC fight, then Ramsey Nijem, then had 2 back-to-back losses. And at that point, I think people were starting to write him off a little bit, like just being like a middle of the pack kind of guy. But since going over down to Fortis MMA, OAM is a great win. Jared Gordon was a great win, especially the way that he finished him. Kyle Nelson was a short notice fight, so I'll give him the victory there. He actually changed 3 different opponents during fight week.
Yeah,
leading up to that Kyle Nelson fight. Rustam Khabilov is a great win. Mirabek Taisumov is a great win. Anthony Pettis isn't even. It's a good win, at least in terms of name value, but in terms of like actual opposition, it probably, I think the Mirabek Taisumov fight was harder for him.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
Solid streak.
I would
should fight up.
Just I remember what you said. You talked shit about my boy Mirabek Taisumov last week. I would love to see Mirabek versus Pettis. That would be I wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
That's a good rebound fight for him too.
Yeah. Great improvement that we've seen from Diego Ferreira since he joined Fortis MMA. Do you think he has top 5 potential?
Yeah, 100%.
You think
the thing is, he's old. He just turned 35. This is
his run though. He needs.
Got to do it now.
I'd say if he gets 2 more wins, he could find himself into a number 1 contender fight, and which is kind of bullshit, just considering he has 6 straight wins against good guys,
that's lightweight,
decent guys. But yeah, if he gets the winner of Lee and Oliveira, and then probably another fight after that.
That's lightweight though. That's just how it is. Look at Ferguson.
Because we have such a backlog already there too, especially if you want to fucking try to give Conor McGregor another title shot. Give him Justin Gaethje. Let's just get to the main event. We might as well fucking talk about it.
No, quick. Let's save it for
what's the rest of the
skim over, do some shout outs here. Drew Dober, really good underdog win over Nate Hackpress.
Yeah.
Knocked him out in the first round.
Did you call him Nate Hackpress?
Nasrat Hackpress. I did call him Nate Hackpress.
I'm like, what?
Nasrat Hackpress. Yeah, that was a good win. Proving again that the odds were ridiculous. Mine is like a 3.5 to 1
it's all
favorite.
Hype.
It's
all
just
hype.
craziness.
Yeah.
I was listening to again, what was that? I think Rogan apparently on the broadcast, I didn't hear this part, but he called out how stupid the odds were. Because he actually thought when the fight was announced that Dober would be the favorite. Let alone a plus 240 underdog, and he was totally proven right there. That's just another thing of
it's a hype job.
Not knowing who Dober is, and even though he's lost to Dariush recently, he was beating the shit out of Dariush in the stand-up.
He was winning that fight.
Yeah, before he got grappled.
Yeah.
Hackpress is not a Dariush level grappler.
No.
And then Yusuf Fili was a great fight. That was a really fun fight.
Minus the 3rd round. That was a weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Yusuf looked really good in the first 2 rounds and then just took it off. He just took the 3rd round off straight up. So it could have been a better win if he had at least done a little more in the 3rd. But it was still a solid win over a streaking Fili too. So that was good too. And
that Elliot Askarov fight was
whatever. Yeah. The main event.
Yeah.
So first thing on the Conor Cerrone finish. I wasn't too I still haven't gotten hyped up again about Conor ever since he lost. He's got all the controversy. Then he lost to Floyd, did the Khabib loss. And it's just all this talk about, I'm going to fight this guy. Okay, hurry up, get in the cage, fight somebody. Just so I can get interested in you. After a performance like that, though, I'm not fully in, fully oh shit, Conor's back. Yeah, but hey, man, that's a good way to warrant to jump back in and warrant the fights. If you're going to be taking up other guys' spots, at least you're doing it in an impressive way. That was, I know it's Donald Cerrone and older, but man, that was still impressive. That's best case scenario in terms of how you beat him. What the fuck?
For me, I feel like impressive is an overstatement here, just due to the fact that we know the way to beat Cowboy is to rush him right off the bat. Just beat him immediately.
Here's the thing, though. Conor kind of beat him by rushing him, but not really. He just happened early, but it wasn't necessarily a rush on that beat. He rushed right out the gate and missed. Then they clinched up. Then he
those shoulder taps.
Nose up with a shoulder.
Yeah,
who the hell
crazy.
does that? That's
insane.
already insane.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't rush in with some crazy combo and overwhelm Cowboy. He head kicks him.
I know.
If I thought anybody's going to get a head kick knockout, it's going to be Cowboy.
Yeah.
Head kicks him clean, lands a strike, rocks him, and finishes him with precision strikes. That was an awesome version of Conor. That was a really impressive win. He didn't RDA him where RDA just overwhelmed and went crazy, just, punching Cowboy. This was it was quick and he got in his face, but it was also he was hanging back calculated. Everything was it was calculated in how he beat him. And he did it so
40
quick.
40 seconds is nuts. 40 seconds is insane, but
And to really like beat the shit out of him in that time and not even eat a strike from Cowboy. Come on, man. That's
like, we know that Cowboy's a slow starter. That's the main thing. Like, if you want to get on Cowboy,
but you get on him immediately. That's the thing. He beat him from a clinch position first, which is not an overwhelming. That's a slow position. That's like okay, we're tied up, and just with shoulders surprised him and fucked up his nose. And then after that head kicks him, the left didn't even come into play until he was trying to finish him. I thought that was like really impressive.
I needed something a little bit more. Like, it was impressive to see, don't get me wrong, but it just it doesn't give me the fulfillment that I feel like I needed from this.
I'm a huge fan of Conor when he was coming up in his rise because he was so calculated. He wasn't doing dumb shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, everything he would say, you believed it because it was calculated to. It wasn't just coming from a point of like, I got to promote.
Yeah.
So this fight really did give me hope of like, oh shit, maybe Conor's back. Like, that version of Conor's back. I would love to see that version of Conor.
In terms of him calling his shots, he did say he wanted to get a couple rounds in this fight. Didn't get any.
Yeah, but I mean,
he got half.
But I mean, he didn't
40 seconds of a round.
Look, he didn't come out, I don't think, to really finish him that quick. Well, maybe that's just Conor's style, but he didn't come out to like rush him and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It was from the clinch. A calculated move that hurt him badly, and then a head kick that landed and rocked him right away.
Controlled chaos. That's the way that I kind of look at it. Like, it's just
even after they separated against the clinch, he didn't get right in his face looking to combo him. He stood back, kept his distance, head kick. Like, I thought it was a great performance. Awesome. Even though it was an aging Cowboy, a Cowboy coming off 2 losses, still probably the best win that anyone's gotten over Cowboy. So gotta give him that.
Do me a favor and fucking give him Justin Gaethje and do that to Justin Gaethje, and then I'll be a little bit more impressed.
Okay, here's the thing though. Realistically though, I think I was listening to Luke Thomas earlier, and he makes a really good point as to why like the Masvidal fight probably makes the most sense, like from a promoter perspective.
Yeah,
because he was talking about how Masvidal's scrum was like trending the most pre-fight. So, like, he's got the most buzz around him. Masvidal was there. Conor got a win at welterweight at least. He beat Cowboy better than Masvidal beat him. Mm-hmm. He's on top of the world right now. He can call a shot. Conor can fight whatever the fuck he wants.
I feel like if he wanted Masvidal, he would have called him out in the cage. Because they kind of set it up for him like that, too.
No, but Conor's got so many options, I don't think he wanted to single anyone out necessarily. Like, he purposely didn't.
I don't think he's interested in the Masvidal fight for some reason. I don't know why. It would make the most money, in my opinion.
I think he did say that he would take it.
In the post-fight presser, if he said something about it, cool. Like, I hope somebody questioned about it.
But he was also dogging on Masvidal for... And I will say this, man. I like Masvidal. He seems like a cool motherfucker and shit, but what was that corny shit? Wearing that robe.
He's trying to stand out.
Now it's starting to get, you're getting to cringe levels, man.
I get what he's doing,
it's
though.
It's so inauthentic for a Masvidal type real motherfucker character. You know what I mean? Like, what is this shit? Now you're doing all this like...
But he's doing it he's trying to do it in like a G way. You know what I mean?
You didn't find that corny? You thought that was a gangster type deal? I thought that was fucking cheesy as fuck.
I think he was trying to be a little bit too gangster, but I didn't find it super corny. I found
wearing
it like
a boxer. And do you realize that was Conor's robe?
No way. The Versace
it was Conor's
robe,
robe apparently that he wore for the Floyd fight when he walked out or something. It was an exact replica. He was trying to get his... that's what makes it even stupider.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember that.
You hear that, then it's like, oh, he's just blatantly trying to get Conor's attention. And I thought it kind of made him look like a doofus because afterwards Conor didn't even address him. And then actually when they talked to him about it in the post-fight conference, Conor was like, I don't know. I think Jorge lost tonight. That was fucking cheesy as fuck. I don't know what the hell he's doing with that robe. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, he's like, it was.
I gotta see the post for
I thought Jorge kind of looked like an idiot coming out of here, but he's still that buzz fight. So there's a good.
I think that would be the highest selling one,
and they're both ready to go. Conor can fight tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Jorge's just been training and waiting for the name.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like Jorge's got 2 options. It's Conor or Usman. That's it.
Conor Usman for Masvidal, you're saying? Yeah. I agree. I think that Conor's... I don't know where he wants to go.
One other point about the Jorge thing.
Yeah.
If you look at the welterweight rankings, right? You got champion Usman. Number 1, Woodley. Usman beat him. Number 2, Colby. Usman beat him. Number 3, Jorge. Only fresh matchup. 4 is, I believe... Edwards. Usman's beat him. 5, Dos Anjos. Usman's already beat him. You want to go to 6? Damian Maia. Usman's already beat him. Go down from 1 to 6. The only fresh matchup is Jorge.
Masvidal.
Conor comes in. and beats Jorge Masvidal, he jumps into the top 5 of the welterweight and is now the only fresh matchup for Usman. So now he beats Masvidal. That opens him up for Khabib or Usman. He can literally hop into either title fight and nobody
you
can
see
really say
Dana trying to sell the Conor Khabib fight?
Straight
sounded
up,
so dumb.
I actually thought it was fair point.
Are you kidding me?
It was the first. To me, it felt like he's just being real. Like he's just saying like, I don't care about making sense and all that. If you just look at what Conor was saying after the first fight, how big their fan following is and all that, numbers wise, drawing wise, business wise, I like that. He didn't say like, oh well, I mean it's such a good win, so it only makes sense. No. He actually said it just from a point of, if you're looking at biggest fights to make, that is the biggest fight. Trust me, guys. I thought it was a fair point. I'm like, okay, cool. Like at least you're not
there isn't any like logical reasoning behind it besides the numbers. Besides the numbers, there's no actual fucking reason.
There's no way Conor skips Gaethje. If you want to do it the right way, Conor should be fighting Gaethje, and the winner of that should get Khabib. Mm-hmm. But when I think of what Luke Thomas said, that makes total sense. If Conor beats Jorge, he gets the welterweight or lightweight title shot.
It makes sense. I don't think people would be as mad if he goes out there, beats Jorge, and then gets a Khabib rematch.
He beats Jorge Masvidal. He's now top 5 in 2 different divisions.
That's so true. Yeah, just
with 1 win. Nate Diaz came and got 1 win over Pettis. Now he's still fucking a top 10 welterweight because of that Wonder Boy KO fiasco, right? Like it actually makes sense. So there's a good chance. If you look at it from drawing power, who's ready, and everything that makes sense for Conor's future, I think the Jorge Masvidal fight makes sense.
For me, I think
he could beat him.
That would make me the most satisfied actually if we get that Masvidal fight. I think that would just do get Masvidal
paid too, because everybody loves Jorge, right? So
he wants that paycheck so bad.
He wants
that fucking paycheck.
But I think Jorge did even concede to like, all right, if I don't get the Conor fight, then I guess Usman it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. Where does Cowboy go from here, though? What should we do, Mr. Cowboy? I mean, he's going to keep fighting.
Okay, he's 36 years old. He's old. He's got a lot of miles on him. Every time we've given him big fights, he falters, and he seems to falter badly when the lights are on. This was his biggest fight ever, and he faltered the worst. I heard someone.
The Ferguson fight too, like one, that was a falter as well. 3 straight losses. Yeah, like
Cowboy is probably never going to get number 1 contender type fights again. He's just going to be just a fun fighter fighting anyone that's below the top 5.
Yeah,
that's it. I think that's it. And he shouldn't fight much longer. Like, do you really want to see Cowboy get even like more than like 2 or 3 more fights and call it a day?
There are fun fights for him waiting there. Like, I wouldn't mind maybe even him fighting the loser of Felder and Hooker. Like, I wouldn't mind that.
He'll never fight Paul Felder. Those guys are like brothers.
I think they're not as close anymore. Where did you hear about recently? Because he used to be at the BMF ranch.
I gotta rewatch the broadcast, but the podcast I was listening to, they were like, Felder was like clearly very upset and disappointed when Cowboy lost to Conor. Like, it was pretty obvious.
Like, I know Felder went down to the BMF ranch and stayed with him for a bit, but since then he's gone to like
but I think
Milwaukee and shit.
I think he still looks at Cowboy as like big brother, loyal, like his Uriah Faber type deal.
Okay,
like I think he still looks at him like that. Like, he would never fight him.
Yeah. Other than that, like, there's no other real fights for him I guess he can go between 170 and 155.
You're gonna have to use him to boost up other guys. Like, however, coming off 3 losses, we don't want to feed him to a young up and coming killer. Let's give him another good name.
I wouldn't mind him against Vicente Luque, actually, if he wants to go to 170.
You know what?
Because the fight was at 170.
That's a great fight. Because
Vicente Luque is coming off that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson loss.
He's coming off a loss. It's a good rebound fight for Luque because he didn't have a terrible performance against Wonderboy, so it's a good way for him to get higher up in the rankings, even though he's coming off a loss. But at the same time,
that might be a dangerous fight for Cowboy.
For Cowboy coming off 3 losses, though, Luque is not the best fighter, and it's a caliber fighter that Cowboy should win against. So I like that for Cowboy too, actually. Coming off of 3 losses, let's give him a winnable fight here. Those were the top 3 monsters he got. Mm-hmm. Right?
I wouldn't mind seeing Lawler and Cowboy too, if they give him 5 rounds on a fight night or something.
Definitely not interested.
Just for fun.
Cowboy should stay
or Cowboy Diaz too.
Run that too. Cowboy should stay at lightweight, that's for sure. Stay at lightweight and just get fun matchups. Or you know what? He should maybe be the guy that bounces from welterweight to lightweight, but just take the fights where it's just like a fun matchup that we want to see.
He could be doing like the Damian Maia tour right now too.
Kind of.
Right? Where it's just like fun fights, get some paychecks, because I'm sure he still gets like 150K per like fight, right? Yeah. Like I'm pretty certain. Yeah, that's pretty much it for 246. Like there's nothing else really to cover. It's pretty straightforward in terms of what everybody else should be doing.
Well, quick thing, I'll ask you, what do you want to see happen in terms of, okay, so coming out of 246, who do you want to see Conor face? Not who you think, who do you want to see?
It's like 1A and 1B between Masvidal and Gaethje. Like those are the two that I really want to see. Gaethje a little bit more, especially if he wants to stick around at 155. But I wouldn't mind the Masvidal fight just strictly due to the sheer numbers that they can bring in. Give Masvidal that paycheck. It could be a fun fight too. You know what I mean? Them going into that fight, I think it will be fun lead up. You know what I mean? The Gaethje one would be a little bit more weird. Like Gaethje isn't the best like shit talker or anything like that. He's more so just.
If you're talking about drawing power, it's got to be.
It's got to be the Masvidal fight, right?
But if you're going rankings wise, it has to be Gaethje.
But here's the wrench though. Tony Ferguson, right? Like if he goes out there and beats Khabib, we can do Khabib. Or you brought it up yesterday, I think. Conor Khabib, even coming off of losses. Why don't you headline? You can headline a pay-per-view. They don't need a belt to fight 100%. For.
It might be good for the division.
And then let Ferguson fight Gaethje.
If Tony wins, because then Conor and Khabib can do their fight, not hold up any titles.
Yeah.
Because even if Conor's coming off just this win or another win, 2 wins, even if Khabib's coming off a loss, first of all, it's only a loss to Tony Ferguson. Who doesn't lose to Tony Ferguson? And he's got the win over Conor. So the matchup still makes perfect sense. And Khabib will still be ranked number 1 at lightweight even if he loses.
Like there's no point in Khabib taking the Ferguson rematch immediately if he loses, strictly due to the fact that he's not going to get paid as much as if he were to fight fucking Conor next. And even if he beats Conor, then he's like, okay, I beat the other next good guy in this division. Give me the title shot again.
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a shit?
Let Conor would still be a top guy to get a win over.
The only issue though is that's not till April. That's mid-April. You think Conor's going to sit around and not know who he's going to?
That's my problem with them saying like, oh yeah, if Conor beats Cowboy, he's getting the next title shot. I'm like, but Khabib's not fighting until April, then he won't be good to go again until September, October. You think Conor, who wants to fight 3 times this year, is just going to sit out now after a 40-second knockout? He's fresh, he's ready to go. He can make that money getting 3 fights. Fuck no. Go out. What he should do, which makes sense for him, is go out. And if you're confident you can win, beat Jorge Masvidal. Yeah. Set yourself up for either Khabib or Usman.
Do that July international weekend, right? International Fight Week, whatever it is.
Yep.
Big fight. They don't need a title fight to actually, sell that card. I'm sure they can even they can make it for the BMF title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Conor doesn't seem to care too much about that belt, but I just mean in terms of like if he's the champion, just make it for that.
They normally stack the International Fight Week card, right? So obviously they'll probably have at least another title fight on it, but at least they can sell this as okay, it's the BMF title that they're fighting for, and then we have whatever is in the co-main, right?
The only thing that's kind of up in the air is that Conor seems to want to stay ready for the Khabib Tony card in case one of them pulls out. So what I think they should do is book him in a fight against Masvidal for like May. But just while he's training, ready, he can be ready to hop in April if any of those guys pull out.
I don't think he would mind the May fight either because May is usually a big card too. Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. It's a 4-month turnaround. You took no damage. And even after that fight, you'd be ready to take a title fight by the end of the year. In November. And
it lines up with Khabib's schedule as well too.
There you go. It's perfect. If Khabib beats Tony, that's about the time he'd be ready to go too. So
fuck.
I think it makes sense. I think we should see Conor, Jorge, and May.
The funny thing is, I thought after the day after 246, we would have a little bit more clarity in terms of where these divisions are going to go. Still not really any clarity.
Just because of how impressive that win was, though, and the fact that he...
how impressive it is, and he didn't directly call his shot in terms of who he wants next. He normally does that.
Yep. And
he took the chance to do nothing here in terms of...
If Cerrone won, everything would be clear.
Yes.
You'd have like, okay, well, we can't give Conor any of these big fights. So because Conor's out of the picture for big fights, now we just go by the rankings and just do it the right way. Like, what else would you really do, right?
I'm sure they would. We don't want to talk about what ifs now, just because we have the clarity, right? Like we have the clarity. Conor won.
He starched him,
I wouldn't mind the Conor, like, even if Ferguson wins, like Conor Ferguson, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, it's a fun matchup.
Don't
man.
match
a really
it.
fun matchup, dude.
Yeah. And then Khabib can just sit around and wait for the winner of that. Don't really mind that. But again, we got to wait till April to fucking find that out. That's a solid 3 months away. Like,
yeah, when is the card?
April
18th?
18th? Yeah.
Oh, it's still exactly
It's exactly 3 months after fucking Conor fought. So we still got so much time to wait out.
Man, if anything, because I know it's a quicker turnaround for bigger name fighters and for title fight type fighters, but just fucking put Conor on that card against Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Or Justin Gaethje. And then you have, if anyone gets injured, you can mix and match those 4 fighters.
I don't think Conor would want to do that.
Because he'd have to be co-main.
And I don't think Khabib would agree being co-main.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's not going to happen, but that's what they should be doing. Because he's ready to go. He's definitely going to be ready. Gaethje's probably ready. He's just been training and waiting. They could easily do that fight. Even Jorge would be ready to go, probably. But fine.
We got to wait a little bit
probably
closer.
Not realistic. I would say, though, do it in May and have him as a...
the backup.
He can jump into the Ferguson tone.
I think we talked that fucking topic to death because we've pretty much explored almost all scenarios that you could see from this, right?
Yeah, it's interesting to see where it'll go. I wonder if they'll actually announce an opponent for him before the Khabib and Ferguson fight. I hope they do. I hope they book him.
It's a long wait.
Yeah, because if he wants to fight 3 times, man, like, get that fight in. Mm-hmm. Get that money in.
Absolutely agree. And he wants to do the 3 times.
Seems like his confidence on cloud 9. So I think he thinks he would knock the fuck out of.
It was interesting. Remember that picture or clip I sent you of Dana picking the odds for the year? Yeah. And he thought that Conor would fight less than 2 times. Yeah. 2.5.
Well, probably because he's the one negotiating with him all the time.
Yeah, true.
And doesn't think he can fucking get this done. But
if the dude wants to get paid, this is where it is.
He doesn't need to fight at all. When you look at his salary and then you look at like the year that he didn't fight, he still made like $40+ million. That's more than he'll make fighting. What the hell does he have to do this for? So
that was more than he made in the 2 previous, besides the May Mac one.
Yeah.
Before that, I think those were only like 20 million and 15 million, and then he made 44.
Plus, he's a brand. If he's not training, like Conor could just sell anything.
Yeah.
He could literally put his fucking face on a chocolate bar and start selling that. People will buy it. So like he doesn't need to do anything.
Even those Reebok shirts, like I'm sure those are selling like hotcakes just because it has fucking Conor's face on it, and everybody's shitting on it.
Just get on a cereal box like Anthony Pettis.
And he has that shoe deal with them now too. The whole shirt was for the shoes, pretty much.
He likes suits. He can come up with his own line of suits. Like it's not hard for him to make money.
So I pulled up the Domino's pizza.
Yeah, I was like, why?
You know why?
Why am I looking at a search result for Domino's pizza?
Look at the poster for the Blades thing card. Blades and Dos Santos, which is next weekend.
It is. It's a Domino's color.
It just looks like a Domino's pizza box.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. Jesus.
The same coloring. When it first got released, I saw somebody like put them side by side in a tweet. I'm like, oh, this.
It's just weird, right? Like, why do you have a full-time employee or employees?
They have a team. Don't say employee. They have a team.
Why do you have a team doing this when you can just contract this out to Boss Logic for a fraction of the cost? Like, I don't.
Boss Logic is doing the Invicta ones.
Why is he doing the Invicta one? How the fuck aren't people... Shab talks about this too. He's like, people DM me shit that's way better than this garbage. Yeah. And this a team?
Yeah, a whole team. There was... They released a segment showing like the design team reacting to tweets from people shitting on them. And I'm like, okay, so we see you guys having fun with this. You know it's an issue. Why haven't you guys like fixed it? Like there aren't any upcoming posters that actually look good.
They're so generic.
Like even this Jones Reyes one, I'm thinking like
if there is a team of people doing this, they working half an hour every event?
Barely.
Like how long does it take to
look at this one? Look at Blachowicz and Anderson. You kidding me? What a Hooker Felder. He looks like a fucking.
Why are they doing a Sin City type thing?
He looks like a house elf from fucking Harry Potter. Like an elf.
That poster looks like a Sin City type.
But they did the same thing. They did the same thing for the Mark Hunt and Derek Lewis.
So is fucking Sin City a big movie in Australia or something? What's going on?
Dude, look at this fucking poster.
What the fuck?
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's a Sin City type style.
Pretty much the same thing.
Rodriguez.
Let's see if they've done a Benavidez poster yet. No. 248?
Yeah,
No.
It's going to be them back
Poor
to back
guys.
doing this fucking like it's
Now look
good
this way.
traditional shit. Yeah, man.
That's it. I brought up the odds for the upcoming card here, so let's just quickly
do it.
There's really only the top 2 fights that are interesting: Curtis Blades and JDS.
I'm gonna call it right now. I think a good parlay to make right now is Curtis Blades and RDA.
RDA is probably going to be my lock of the night play, but I want to look into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I need to see.
Stylistically-
I got to dust up on Chiesa a bit in terms of how he's looking in his last 2 fights. He beat Diego Sanchez, and then he beat. Can't remember who he won. Who he beat the night before that. Who the fuck did he beat?
I don't even think grappling will come into play that much because RDA will probably just try and keep it on the feet. But RDA is so good at grappling; he'll go offensive against grappling.
Chiesa's big too, though.
On the feet, though,
Condit. He subbed out Condit before that.
Oh yeah! Oh, what an impressive one. RDA on the feet,
he's good. Yeah,
he will
destroy
Chiesa.
But
His
how about
losses are to top dudes? Like the top 4 welterweights are the only ones he's lost to. I know it's 4 losses, but it's the top 4 welterweights.
Mm-hmm. I like him in this spot too, for sure. It's a little crazy now. He's minus 265. That's a little high. I would wait for that to come down a little bit. I think there will be money that comes in on Chiesa. But the main event, JDS, Curtis Blades.
Yeah, I'm scared for JDS.
I'm scared for JDS too.
He's probably going to get mauled.
Yeah.
I think if Blades is smart, it seems like Braces
Blades
is really embracing. There you go. See, brain signals got switched up again. Blades is really embracing his wrestling recently. He's been going,
for sure.
Ever since Ngannou knocked him back out. It seems like he's going back to like, I'm the best wrestler in the division.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a point to prove there, and he does like a wrestling heavy thing.
That second fight with Ngannou was weird though, because he never really went for a full takedown. He faked one, but that was about it.
Like 40 seconds in. So maybe he just wanted to stand for a bit, and then it was like, oh shit, I'm already
too long.
Yeah,
standing for too long,
and he got TKO'd. But yeah, I think
he should be able to take JDS here and outgrind him.
I think it's going to be because JDS is hard to take down and keep down. So I think
third or fourth round TKO.
I think there's going to be a lot of like stalling against the cage with Blades controlling position.
Yeah,
and Junior just having trouble getting out and staying out.
I'm surprised he keeps just fighting, man. Like,
yeah,
like again, he's kind of lucky that it's heavyweight, just due to the fact that it's heavyweight. I mean, everybody else is like that fucking age. But for Curtis Blades, it's just getting the rounds to start getting these names under his belt.
Yeah.
Like, who else is there really for him to fight, right?
It sucks for Blades, too, because that's the problem. He's ranked so high.
Yeah.
He's already got 2 losses to, like, the only guy ranked above him.
Yeah.
And he'll never get a title shot because Stipe and DC are still doing their thing.
Yeah.
And then Ngannou's waiting in the wings. So what the fuck do you do with him? And everyone he fights will be ranked below him.
Yeah.
Because he can't get a fight with these top guys.
No, he's not going to fight. He needs to see what's going to happen with Stipe.
Look,
Cormier.
DC. You just said
We're
Stipe.
almost done. We're almost done.
DC is done.
Yeah. No, well, he's probably going to fight Stipe.
No, but I mean,
either way, he'll be done.
He's
after
done.
That.
There's no one. He's never getting matched up with anyone else ever again. He's done. So the only one above him that he hasn't fought is Stipe. And how is he going to get that fight with Ngannou waiting in the wings? And they still got to do the DC Stipe fight. So poor Blades, he's just got to take random fucking fights. Hell, you know what might be interesting if that would never happen though. I was going to say if Jones comes up his first fight against Blades, that would be interesting.
No,
but
I wouldn't think that.
Jones would just go right into a title fight. That's the thing.
Yeah. The best case scenario for Curtis Blades is Jairzinho Rozenstruik knocking out Francis Ngannou.
Yes, taking him off the pedal. So yes, then he can go. Yeah, that's right. Because then those guys would be waiting for the top guys anyway, so they might as well fight it out. That's good. That's true.
But it's hard for me to see that. I think Rozenstruik has a good chance. Better than the odds are suggesting.
I'm 100%. When you look at the styles,
yeah,
Rozenstruik is the much more experienced striker.
Yeah.
And at those, I think he's like a +2 something.
Plus 240, I think it is.
Easy bet.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy bet to put on him. Now he probably gets starts like everybody else against Ngannou, but experience wise,
plus 220.
Experience wise, and I don't think he's been knocked out before, and he's been in a lot of kickboxing fights. Yeah. I like his chances way more than plus 240. You know?
Yeah. Blades, he should be able to get past JDS here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody really wants to see him fight Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is fighting Ilir Latifi for some fucking reason. Alexander Volkov, maybe Blades against Volkov eventually. Like, he needs to start getting these names under his belt. Because again, like you said, he can't fight Francis. He can't fight Cormier. He's not going to fight Stipe yet. He probably won't see gold until at least 2022.
He's gonna
maybe
have
2021.
He's gonna have to take like a Holloway approach. You're gonna have to clean the division out prior to your title shot, to get the title shot. Luckily for him, he's 29.
Yeah, he's young.
And so heavyweight, so he's pretty much 20.
He's like 20.
So, I mean, you got nothing but time.
Yeah.
Even if it takes you 3 years to get a title shot, you're still in your prime at heavyweight. Like, come on, man.
He has like the Cain Velasquez style too, right? He just keeps getting clipped by fucking Ngannou. But besides that, he looks almost untouchable.
Yeah.
Like he has the cardio, he has the pace, he has the wrestling. His striking could use a little bit of work.
Well, the first fight against Ngannou, he didn't really get clipped. He was actually doing really well in the wrestling, but
it was a cut that ended the fight as well, I believe, right? His eye swelled shut. Yeah,
and then at the end of the second round, they called it. But he was actually doing pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just Ngannou was able to thwart the grappling enough and land enough.
I think he's gotten much better in it now, though. But even back then, he was just training at a UFC gym. Like he wasn't training with the guys in Denver. He didn't make that switch yet. He just started fucking training MMA with these wrestlers.
Just primarily a wrestler.
That's
there
it.
You go. And he's so young and only getting better. Fuck, man.
I would totally like to see them eventually fight again, but they need to both go on streaks or something.
Guy. And he's too big to cut down to light heavyweight, so you're stuck in that division.
There's no other fights that really jump out to me on the card.
Not at all.
Montel Jackson.
Those are two good fights, though. Like the top two fights, I'm very intrigued by them.
Yeah. Perez and Espinoza should be a fun fight, but again, they don't really have any ramifications for the divisions.
Sure.
Cyphers is fun to watch. Jamal Hill, interesting prospect, one on the Contender Series.
Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
Drop that H, baby.
Jamal Hill?
Daquan Townsend, that's the guy that popped for cocaine and fentanyl or whatever. Against Bevan Lewis. Lucy Pudilova is always fun to watch. Montel Jackson, he's a guy to watch as well. He's a guy that has the
Brian Kelleher.
He has the Francis Ngannou size hands.
Okay, he's the bantamweight.
Yeah,
with the Ngannou size hands at bantamweight.
Insane, dude. He's fighting a guy that sprung a pretty heavy upset in his last fight against Domingo
Minus
Palarde.
630, okay.
Caleres was like a plus 2 something in his last fight, and he sprung the upset. So he's definitely a live dog here. I don't know if he'll beat Jackson though. Brett John's always fun to watch. I want to dig into that fight because I'm interested to see why he's a fucking underdog here. Herbert Burns, decent fighter who is fighting over in M1 a lot, and then Lena Landsberg and Sarah McMahon. I'm interested in Lena Landsberg at dog odds, to be honest. Sarah McMahon could probably take her down in that first round, but then after that, it might get interesting.
That's Sarah McMahon's such a shit. She can take down anybody and hold them down, and then she just has like a brain fart, and then they just win out of nowhere. It's like,
you know, with like I am balls deep in a nerd into MMA, but this card just feels a little like this is just a cool down after the Conor thing. Definitely a cool down, but nothing really like jumps out at me. Like,
and then wait, isn't the week after a week off again?
Yeah. Then we come back with Jones and Reyes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like that,
this, not so much. The other one?
I will say. And I like the fact that even though Reyes should probably lose that fight, that he's like a younger cat who's coming up and still undefeated. So it's not like we've even seen him vulnerable. It's not like we've seen him lose and then he had to come back together with another streak. And you can see how to beat him. He's won the whole time. He's won all his fights.
I just wanted to see what time this Raleigh card starts at. Hopefully it's an earlier card.
I trust in the ESPN.
Let's see.
They always have good start times, man. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Main
Eastern,
card, baby.
I love it. Wrapped up by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
How many?
Wait, is it a 6 fight?
That's what I'm about to check next.
I hate these fucking 6 fight.
How many main card? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it looks like 5.
5. All right.
I love it.
They might switch it up on us later.
Between 10:30 and 11, you're wrapped up.
I like it. I love it. Anything else that we should touch on really for this week? There's nothing else that it was just a lead up to 246.
Yep.
You see the Best Buy security girl that got the weigh-in front. Did you see the video though of her stopping the guy?
She was like impressive. A fucking football defender.
Yeah,
like a linebacker. Whatever.
They let her have a media scrum as well for like 5 minutes. She was almost like hyperventilating. She's just like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Just a regular person. Yeah, and they're just throwing her in front of a banner, letting her talk to media.
Good for her. I mean, she's getting free publicity. Use it. Sure. Leverage it. Make money off of it.
Dana took care of her the whole week. They flew flew her out. They gave her per diem per day to fucking spending money, whatever the fuck she wants. Like she just got to like ball out pretty much all week. They
Drive
offered her a
people
job.
to your social media pages, get a job, fucking use it. Your whole life is set off of
They offered her a job, but she also got offered a job by the Women's Football League of America. Yeah, so they want her to come in and play like defensive end for them or some
fucking
shit.
Dana's private bodyguard.
That's what I mean.
Fuck?
She goes. It's based out of Vegas, so I have to do most of it out of Vegas. So maybe I can do both jobs. But at first, she's like, "I'll take whatever job pays me more." She just said, "Sure, whatever
You were
offers me
security
more."
at Best Buy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anything
exactly.
you take at this point is an
Is an upgrade.
and your life is set because of that one viral video. Awesome.
Yeah. If she could get away with doing both, all praise to her. You know what I mean?
Good
Like,
for her.
I didn't even know the WFLA was a thing.
Fuck.
When she's saying it first, I'm like, what the fuck is it? Is it a fighting league? Like
That's
Women's
why I feel like the
Fighting
UFC
League of
probably would
America?
pay better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you have to go out there and get CTE. You kidding me? You really want to do this shit? I don't know, but good for her for like capitalizing on this thing. The whole story was she recorded the camera on her phone. She sent it to her sister. Her sister put it on Snapchat, and then she woke up the next day and it was just fucking everywhere.
Oh,
yeah, she didn't put it on the internet. Her sister put it on the internet.
That's hilarious.
And then it just fucking blew up.
That is.
I thought it was somebody that just saw the security footage and recorded it.
Yeah.
It was her that recorded it because she wanted it as evidence in case her job tried to come back to her and say something.
So she went and got the footage herself.
She got the footage herself, sent it to her sister, and then her sister fucking exploited it.
that. Good for her sister.
I know.
I mean, that's a good sister right there. Unless
Chop her off a
She
little
might have done it for shallow reasons. Maybe just.
She asked her. She goes, "I'm going to send it to my friend. Do you mind?" And then she said, "Yeah."
There you go. So that's a good sister right there. Her sister might have just set her fucking life.
That's just fucking
There you
crazy.
go. Yeah, take care
Good
of
for
her.
them. We'll do deciding splits after this because there is one that we need to go over. Apparently, it was a little controversial, but we'll find out. Yeah, we have the Raleigh card coming up this weekend, and then we got a week off. God, it's so hard to find news to just fucking talk about. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess we're coming off that whole 3-week stretch. There were a bunch
It's
of
bad
fights.
timing right
Jeez.
now. Shit hasn't picked up yet. It's just bad timing. It's slow.
Let's spend 5 minutes on this. Actually, there's a bunch of cards that were actually announced and a lot of fights that were announced during this time. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero.
I was about to say, that's official.
Finally official. Thank fucking God.
Looks like Aldo Cejudo is.
Aldo Cejudo, which is kind of bullshit. Like
Fucking
the
ridiculous.
reasoning that Dana was trying to bring for that as well. Like, oh, we booked Izzy versus Romero, so why can't we book this one? No, they're two completely different circumstances. You got one guy that has a clear number one contender in at least Aljamain Sterling. At least Peter Yan, you can give it to as well. Coming off of wins on winning streaks.
I'll give it to Dana at least recently. At least he's being a little more honest. Like even with this one, he's like, it doesn't make sense. But neither does Izzy and Romero. That was his whole way of justifying why this fight that doesn't make sense is being made. Because Izzy Romero doesn't make sense either. Okay, like you said,
if you really look into
totally
it, though,
different circumstances though. Because hey, guess what? The only other guy that Izzy could fight is injured. That's the only reason Romero's getting the fight. Otherwise, he wouldn't be getting the fight.
But people keep throwing
Aldo ain't injured. Yan ain't injured. Well, Aldo is, but he's ready to come back. Yan's not injured. How is Aldo just...
People are trying to throw Jared Cannonier's name out there like he should be deserving of a title shot. I don't think so. Give that guy at least one more victory.
Not over Romero. I disagree.
I agree. I believe that Romero actually deserves the title shot more.
Romero, honestly, it feels like he won his last two fights, man. He shouldn't be 0-2. A lot of people kind of feel like he's 2-0, and then he's still on a streak.
With the facts that we have, though, we have to take it as losses.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, like Aldo looked great in his last fight too, right?
100%.
But he still came out with the loss. You're just spitting in the faces of these other guys that have actually gotten victories.
Exactly.
Like they're kind of lucky that Marlon Moraes already lost to Henry Cejudo. Because if it was anybody else that Aldo beat like that, that guy should be getting the title shot.
Yeah. That's their justification. It's like, well, we can't give it to the guy that just beat Aldo because he already lost. So, but Aldo looked great, so give it to him.
But like, how much
he
more?
He hasn't even got an actual win at bantamweight. It's ridiculous.
How much more are they really going to be able to sell that fight? Then I guess you can sell it a little bit more than Aljamain Sterling fight.
They want it as a Rio main event. Yeah, it's a Brazil main event, and Cejudo I think wants it in Rio as well. And that's the thing, right? It's not just about what makes sense; it's also about what guys want. Cejudo and Aldo are both ready to take the fight. Dana's down with it because he knows he's going to make money off of it. Your other two options are Yan and Aljo. Hey, good streaks, but guess what? You guys, nobody knows who you are in the casual market. So sorry, it is what it is. That is definitely not a fight I'm on board with, but we're probably going to get it at this point. And then it'd be fucking crazy if Aldo wins. Because then now Cejudo's just fucked this whole division up. Just came in and really fucked shit up.
He came to save the flyweight division, and now he fucked up the bantamweight division.
Now Aldo's going to be the champion of bantamweight, and Jesus
It's
Christ.
a winnable fight for Aldo, too.
Yeah, but
Right?
then maybe Aljo and Yan would probably be happy about that. They'd probably be like, yo, an aged
Aldo.
Aldo, yeah, fuck that. Give me that.
Who has to numerously cut down to 135 now? Like, it doesn't look good in terms of on numerous occasions cutting down to that fucking weight.
It's
He may look good in the fight. He looked good in that first fight that he cut down to it, but he's only getting older too. 33 now, I think. And
It's
you're going to
harder
continue to deplete your body.
You're cutting more, and you're trying to walk around lighter. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's definitely not a fight booking I'm too interested in. But hey, it should still be a fun fight. And the funny part about that is, when you look at it from a stylistic standpoint, I think I would favor Aldo.
I think so too.
You think Cejudo's going to take down Aldo and keep
I
him
don't
down?
think so. No.
And who's going to light up who on the feet?
You know what? I didn't really even think about it from the perspective of actually matching these guys up and how they... Because I've just been so stuck on the fact that they're actually booking this fight. But stylistically, I think you're right. I think Aldo...
Cejudo
should have the advantage here, too.
Cejudo beat up Moraes. He beat him up, though, by being tough and just accepting the damage, walking him down, and Moraes folding. Aldo is mentally stronger than Moraes. Aldo does not fold. Aldo will take punishment, but he will fight back. And athletically on the feet, skill-wise, from a technique standpoint too,
Aldo blows him out of the water.
Beat the shit out of Cejudo.
It depends on rounds 4 and 5 though. Like what fucking Henry does with those.
But he's never going to finish Aldo the way he finished Moraes.
No.
Down on the ground and pounding, Aldo's not going to get finished like that unless you overwhelm him ridiculously like how Holloway did.
Yeah.
And then control him. But he's also bigger. Aldo's going to be the bigger fighter against Cejudo. Man, I think from an odds perspective, Aldo should be the favorite against Cejudo. That's the crazy part.
I wouldn't disagree with that, actually. I think you're definitely bang on with that. Fuck. I don't know how much more we can actually go into this.
We'll just have to see it play out and wait for it to officially get announced.
Exactly. It's not official yet. Like, we're still talking about it.
If it's 3 parties that matter, it's both fighters and it's the UFC. All 3 are on board. It seems like that fight's in the bag.
That was like Dana's first piece of proof in terms of why this fight should happen. He goes, both guys want it. That's the stupidest reasoning, because there's been so many times in the past where both guys want it and UFC's just like, no.
His reasoning is whatever's convenient for him to say. We already know that. He's a promoter.
Fuck
it is what it is.
Whatever. All right, I'm gonna wrap this shit up now. We can get into deciding splits. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the comments below. And also go check out Deciding Splits. We're going to be going over Sabina Mazo and JJ Aldrich. Make sure you guys check that shit out.
Fight I did not watch.
Exactly. Me neither. So we can actually watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. See you guys next time. Peace.